Good evening, I'm Diane, and tonight we're going to talk about thinking like a genius.
Fantastic.
Even if you're not a genius, you can use the same strategies that Aristotle and Einstein used to harness the power of your creative mind. And so we're going to talk about a couple of strategies that we can use. Normally have written these ahead of time. You can look at problems in many different ways and find new perspectives on something that you're thinking about. Da Vinci, for example, would reconstruct problems. He would draw pictures, he would use numbers, he would use animals. Any different way you can go around about and look at a problem in a different way. And so I would encourage you to sleep on it and come back at it another day and think about a different way you might be able to look at it, or a different perspective that might help you analyze these things. Another strategy is to visualize. Einstein used to do this all the time. He would use diagrams and things like that. So it ties in with looking at it in different ways. Produce. Don't be afraid of using lots and lots of ideas. Einstein had over 1,000 patents by the time he retired, and he would just have a daily quota of things that he would produce. Come up with ideas all the time. Just come up with ideas. Some of them won't pan out, some of them will, but don't be afraid to produce. Think outside the box. Come up with novel combinations. Gregor Mendel, when he was a mathematician and a biologist, and he put these two areas of science together and came up with an entirely new field that we know as genetics. And so it was novel for his day, and it's okay to think of different things that you might be able to put together and make new combinations. Da Vinci did something similar when he came up with his theories of sound traveling in waves. He was thinking about the sound of a bell, and then all of a sudden thought about a stone hitting the water. Put them together and came up with his theory of sound traveling in waves. So novel combinations can help you in many different ways. Prepare yourself for chance. You don't have to always think that something you've come up with is a failure. It could be, what have I learned today? Edison had always said he now knows 999 ways how not to make a light bulb, but the light bulb finally worked for him in one of his ways, which goes back to his producing lots and lots of things. So even if you fail in what you think you're going for, look at it another way and say, what can I maybe come up with on that? Sticky notes, Post-it notes, were another invention that came out of someone's failure for what he was working towards. My last one is have patience. It may not happen the first time, it may not happen the 1,000th time, it may happen after you are dead and gone. Paul Cézanne, one of the finest artists in our lifetimes, had been practicing since he was a young man. And it wasn't until he was 56 years old that he had his first solo exhibition. And so patience paid off for him in the end. And it can pay off for you too. And one of the ways that we can practice all of these different things, so one of the ways we can practice being a genius, is to read wisely and deeply. And it's something that Thomas Jefferson was one of our great thinkers. He was big into agriculture, big into many different things. And so reading wisely and deeply will help us all think more like geniuses. Anyone have any questions? Okay, thank you.